I'm delighted to be joined this morning by Dambisa Moyo, who's just published her most recent book, The Edge of Chaos. So Dambisa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Really looking forward to our conversation. So we're first going to talk about economics and globalization. And obviously there's very uneven growth rates around the world, particularly after the 2008 recession. What, in your view, can different governments do to try and take out some of the disparities resulting from these different growth rates?
It's a fantastic question. I think the most important thing is to acknowledge that ideology is actually the enemy of growth, meaning that we don't really know how to solve a lot of these things. So, for example, with income inequality, we've tried both left-leaning policies, tax and redistribution, but we've also tried right-leaning policies which have tended to be much more about supply side, keeping taxes low, in the hope of increasing wages and hiring more people. Both of those extremes have not helped to stem the widening of income inequality. So I would suggest that we do need to be less ideological about how to solve these things and think about more mixed economic approaches and policies to address the whole raft of economic challenges that are coming.
So you've written a lot about China and the reemergence of China as a global force. What do you think the opportunities and challenges are that will result from that?
So, Simon, today China is not only the second largest economy in GDP terms, but it's the largest foreign lender to the United States government, and it is the primary foreign direct investment partner in trade for many countries around the world. So it's critically important that China gets it right. Of course, on a per capita income basis, this country remains really at the bottom 100, and so has a long way to go itself. I think ideologically there are some themes that we need to think about as people who live in the West and believe in the Western model of individualism. The Chinese model prioritizes the society, and with that, they are better equipped to deal with some of the social costs that come from maximization of individual behaviors. For example, I can choose to eat whatever I like, but the costs of obesity are borne by society at large. And these are sort of the costs that the Chinese government are better adept at addressing. Longer term, I think there are questions about where China takes its agenda more strategically, questions around its military prowess, but I think that for now, economically, it has done some phenomenal things, moving hundreds of millions of people out of poverty in such a short time.
Great. I was really taken in your book, actually, about the notion that in China, the individual serves society, and in the West, society serves the individual. It's like a completely different approach, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And in many ways, many of the policies that the Chinese political class will use to control the economic growth and to control the society are things that are antithetical to Western values. So, for example, the idea of population growth management. I mean, we know they had a one-child policy approach that would never fly in Western society, where ultimately the individual's right to choose is part of the First Amendment and is actually at the core of Western values.